Have you ever finished a good series and suddenly life made no sense because you hadn't gotten enough of the show? Next, you checked if the series was getting a new season but found no article released. Then you probably searched for OVAs and sequels to the extent you began to question your priorities in life. And then you ultimately resort to reading manga because the show is just that good? Well, there's no need to fret because every otaku has been there. I've been there. I call it a fancy word, post-anime clarity. Our lineup today is guaranteed to give you that bliss, but in the genre of romance. Before we get into it, don't forget to drop a like, and if you're new here, do well to hit the bell icon and subscribe for more content like this. Why Raeliana ended up in the Duke's Mansion comes in at number 10. This is one of those anime with a long-ass name that you never guessed is fire, but is actually fire. It's also not the typical generic romance. Our protagonist, Raeliana, hits the eject button and gets reincarnated into her favorite novel. Soon, the baby girl discovers she'll be hitting the eject button again because her character also dies in the book. To ensure her survival, she uses her knowledge of how the story ends to blackmail Duke Noah, and in no time, Noah has her falling for his irresistible charm, alpha male looks, and romantic teases. The show is so good that every episode leaves you in suspense for what happens next. Ninth on the list is My Love Story with Yamada at level 999. Before the perfect slow burn romance blossomed between the two main characters, homegirl Akane risked her heart by handing it to a gamer bro who dumped her for an online chick. You think she'd learned her lesson, but no, it's a WNL situation for Women Never Learn. She swings around, and in a drive for revenge, she ends up in the arms of another gamer bro, Yamada, who turns out to be a nonchalant, weird, doesn't give 2 cents about anything other than video games, but in the midst of it all, Akane somehow fixes the bug in his heart. The anime tells a beautiful story of what they go through before coming to terms with their feelings. The tension, sweet funny moments, accidental touches, and the way he looks at her with dead eyes filled burning with passion. Boy, oh boy. Maybe gamer bros aren't so bad after all. A Sign of Affection is all green lights at number 8. Yuki has always been the silent girl because of a hearing disability, but that's until she meets the charming Itsumi, who burns all her bridges. Some might wonder how this chemistry blossomed when he obviously can't sway her with words. But the right question is, what's so special about Itsumi that had Yuki fall for him immediately? Inuyasha, Killua, to think we haven't recovered from Gojo. In 2 words, A Sign of Affection is a chef's kiss. From Yuki's emotions while being in a love triangle to her communication with other characters despite her disability. The anime pays attention to detail because the viewers get a depth of what Yuki's world of silence feels like. It's honestly an emotional roller coaster that can make a grown man kick his feet like a little child. Making its mark at 7th is Kami-sama Kiss. The beautiful story between Nanami and Tomoe is definitely worth watching. Otherwise called that anime filled with hot demon boys and a human girl at the center of the chaos. Before a crazy turn of events, Nanami is pushed to the brink of homelessness due to her father's unhealthy gambling behavior. She luckily moves into a new space but is unaware of its spiritual history as a shrine housing gods. If Nanami knew what she was getting into, she would have declined the house offer from the total stranger, which is not so demure of her. Her life swings into 360 when she finds her daily life filled with demons, outrageous situations, ghouls, and an unexpected romance tension with Tamao, a hot-headed god and another white-haired character who gets the girl. Yona of the Dawn comes up next. Now, this is a classic masterpiece. I don't think words can fathom how captivating this show is, and now I'm suddenly considering Yona of the Dawn at number 1 because it's just that good. One day, Yona is the princess of a great kingdom, and the next day she's on the run with her childhood friend and bodyguard, who she eventually falls head over heels for. The romantic tension has my boots shaken. The series shares close similarities with Seven Deadly Sins because of the sub medieval setting. Y'all, I don't know if that's an actual word, cause I just made that up. Thankfully, Yona's not a dumbass like Elizabeth. This is the striking difference between the two aside from the Dumbo's overrated melons. Anyways, when you watch this anime and finish it, you'll be the one asking where it's been all your life. Fruits Basket sweetly takes its shot at number 5. Glad to announce that I'll be paying for everyone's therapy after watching this. Fruits Basket is simply a beautiful way to depict trauma. Toru is optimistic, innocent, gullible, all sunshine with rainbows and unicorns to the extent it almost becomes cringe. Ugh. Despite all that, her poor living condition doesn't stop her from dreaming big. One day she's invited to live in the Salma household, which is not the regular kind of family home. These anime girls have got to stop living in strange houses. Furthermore, the story focuses on how Toru and her gang maneuver the trauma from a curse that might leave them untouched for the rest of their lives. Nah, it's more than that. Fruits Basket is a beautiful tale about love, rejection, and acceptance. It's comic to a good extent, but also reveals how the characters reach depths to express raw emotions. The show will make you capital letters FEEL. You can't go 2 episodes without getting teary-eyed from the raw emotions portrayed by the characters, so you might want to hold on to your tissues and crying pillows. In 4th place, Lovely Complex is who she thinks she is. I'd be a billionaire if I got $1 for every time this anime made me laugh. It's insanely goofy romance story with literally humorous characters. Comic animosity exists between Koizumi, a very tall girl, and Otani, a vertically challenged boy who isn't down to earth. Their constant bickering soon labels them as the class clowns, but the striking oddness in their relationship is the height difference not commonly found in a typical romance genre. After a failed attempt at getting their crushes to notice them, the two make out something from their growing friendship. Koizumi soon realized that all she needed was right in front of her, but she had to look downward. Lower. The perfect slow burn romance blooms with rather 2 imperfect people choosing to love each other. Rascal does not dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Disclaimer, this show is not about actual bunny girls, so take a chill pill, you lolicon. Sakura is a high school kid who has encountered strange, unexplainable events in life. These events are what a normal human being would consider inhuman, but in Sakura's world, he is familiar with the supernatural. On the other hand, Mai is a superstar idol who instantly disappears from the spotlight due to personal reasons. Turns out she's suffering from a rampant illness known as puberty syndrome. The symptoms don't include growing a natural mustache or facial hair. It's a psychological issue that messes up adolescent psychology. The symptom varies in different individuals, but for Mai, it makes her invisible to everyone but Sakura, who sees her for the first time in a spicy bunny costume. It might come off as borderline harm because Sakura has a magnet of attraction to other females who face the psychological problems of puberty syndrome, for example, his sister, but it also tells the heart-swelling coming-of-age story between the characters and how they can overcome their insecurities. This anime is guaranteed to surely leave its viewer in turmoil after watching the depth of the emotions and how each character overcomes their weakness. Kaguya-sama Love is War sits pretty at number 2. If you believe in being completely vulnerable in relationships, then I have good news for you, because this will make you feel things you never thought were possible. Maybe the romance genre has a lot more on its plate than boys ending up with girls and they have a happy ending. It's one anime where you click pause and take 5 minutes to process the whys, whats, whos, and wows. The series centers around students from an elite academy, Kaguya and Miyuki, who have outstanding romantic chemistry but struggle to confess their feelings. Now, this is the most basic way to summarize the plot of this masterpiece, and yet everything is so well laid in the series. In Love is War, the characters go through an immense journey of self-discovery, pain, doubt, and uncertainty, leading to the perfect blend of characters who are unafraid of expressing and giving themselves to romance. Toradora is number 1 on the list because it's simply a masterpiece. Insane level of comical relief mixed with characters you can't help but fall in love with. One episode, you're laughing your guts, and then in another, you're practically bawling your eyes out. Taiga might be a hyperactive midget, but never underestimate her ability to bend her opponent's knees. Homegirl literally becomes a chimney when she's angry. On the other hand, Ryuji is what you would consider the uninteresting kid on the block. With contrasting personalities, these two try to accommodate each other, believing they could get the other to impress and confess their feelings to their crush. Kinda feels like we're in a reverse height scenario of Lovely Complex. The show is centered around characters that don't give you the razzle-dazzle cuteness, but a hint of madness and a touching story. Toradora might break you psychologically and emotionally. Different characters and their view of relationships, the logical and emotional. We also see the depth of pain both characters go through till they finally understand their feelings amid a love triangle that scars each heart. It's simply a masterpiece. That's a wrap, weebs, and thank you for sticking around. Tell us in the comments if you agree with this list and which anime should have made the ranks. You made it this far, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more tea. See you next time.